Jesus. Every time we make
What's up, everybody?
Oh, yeah,
That's good.
Kitty.
The
Oh,
damn cat wants to sit in my lap every time we make a video.
That's the perfect introduction to episode 10 of the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, and Mike from Hub Tunes, who just recently saw Culture Club in concert.
So last night, I went to see Culture Club. I do not like Culture Club at all. I never liked him back in the day. I wanted nothing to do with them. I didn't even like their fans. I just did not like them at all. I was classic rock guy, you know, a little bit of metal. I did not like Culture Club. So a good friend of mine, there you go. A good friend of mine owns a bar, and she did a little bus trip out to the suburbs to this, it's kind of like a picnicky kind of thing. You bring wine and cheese and you sit on the lawn. You barely even see the band. And so I got suckered into that. And Berlin was opening. Wow, you guys.
I have every one of those.
I have that on CD.
Oh my God. So Berlin actually opened for them, and they were great. Terry Nunn was awesome. She looked phenomenal. She sounded great. She was really, really good show. But they only played like 45 minutes. But how many hits? You know.
Wow. I want that album so bad.
Oh my God! You're the people I avoided in high school.
Because we had Berlin or wanted.
Well,
Berlin.
I have the Scorpions shirt on.
No, Culture Club. So anyway, Culture Club comes on. And I'm a couple glasses of wine in, and I found myself enjoying it. I don't know if they like rearrange a lot of the songs, you know, to make them sound a little bit more modern, but they're basically an R&B band, kind of a soul band. And live,
maybe you're just more mature.
Right.
Yeah.
You're seeing past the Boy George MTV thing. Yeah, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me is a reggae song, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I would have to say there were at least 3 or 4 times during the entire show where I was like, this isn't bad. And then I had another glass of wine.
But they're mostly known for Karma Chameleon, and then that's kind of sing-songish.
So many better songs.
I love Church of the Poison Mind. Did they play that?
Yeah, that was great. It was one of the first
about
songs
R&B soul.
It was.
Yeah,
it's
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's the kind of Culture Club I'm talking about.
They really have an R&B soul to them, which I never gave them a chance back in the day. But I like I said, I enjoyed myself. It was actually a really nice evening.
I saw them about 4, maybe 5 years ago. Did they have the thing where it's like Culture Club and then the real band is like behind them?
Oh yeah.
Like the real bassist, the guy playing the bass, and the real, you know, because they still got all the guys. I mean, they did when I saw them. They had all 4 of them.
Yeah, all the original guys were there. But it was a very, very good evening. I was quite surprised.
Boy, George,
I thought you were going to have some trash Culture Club review.
Boy, George hasn't quite gone to hell like the guy from The Cure, Robert Smith.
What about Robert?
He looked good. He sounded great. His voice, I mean, for everything he's been through in the last couple of decades, surprisingly sounded very, very good.
That's what I noticed. He seemed like he was in really good spirits. He sounded good. He looked good for him. I mean, he's always been kind of not exactly athletic or anything, but he's tall. You know, he's big, broad guy. You know,
yeah. And, I did sneak down by the stage. There's a big pavilion, and I did like hang out a little bit just to see what was going on stage. And he was having a blast. He was, like I said, he was in good spirits, and he was.
So you only saw what was going on stage for a little while. The rest of it, you just heard it.
Yeah, it's like a big picnic area. You know, you bring blankets and you lay down. You know, and you
they put speakers up on poles so you can hear what's going on. You just can't see.
Yeah,
there's no
it's
television.
A wonderful place. Right. There's no video screens on the lawn or anything, but you can walk up around the pavilion and check it out. It's a beautiful pavilion, and the sound system in the place is. I mean, this is in Highland Park, Illinois, actually, and I mean it's very well-to-do area, and the place is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So it's been there forever. My high school graduation was actually there, many years ago.
Used to go there quite a bit until they changed the lawn policy.
What did they change?
Well, it used to be across the board. It was like less than $10 to get a lawn ticket,
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
what the show was. Now there's like a tier system depending on who the artist is. So you could end up wanting to, if you wanted to go and sit on the lawn, it could be a
Yeah.
$30 ticket. Which
They used to make
so
that
once they
money in
started-
beer.
When I was in
Yeah.
high school, we used to go there a lot because I grew up in the town next to it, and we used to go every summer. And it would be $5 for a lawn seat, 10 at the most. But
Yeah.
then back then there were no rock bands. It was all like symphony. We'd see Spyro Gyra, we'd see Chuck Mangione and Pat Metheny, and people
my
like
God.
that. It was great for high school kids who wanted to sneak a flask in and sit in the woods and maybe smoke a joint. We were in heaven. It was $5. You lay out
Yeah.
on the lawn. It was great.
Sheryl Crow has been playing there almost every year. She does like 2 nights now.
Yeah, yeah. They get a lot of rock bands now. Yeah, so that was my evening last night. I'm feeling
Awesome.
the wine.
was a
Feeling
nice
the wine a
evening,
little
too.
bit, but it was gorgeous weather, absolutely gorgeous, and it's
Yeah.
right on the lake there, so we had a nice cool breeze coming in. It was really nice.
I had an adventure. I have an ultrasonic cleaner now. I have what's called the affordable ultrasonic cleaner, which is a Humminguru. It finally, it only took like a week to get here, so it wasn't too bad. A week and a half, something like that, from China.
Oh, China.
But it works great. It's really simple to use. I guess the whole point of ultrasonic is, it's not a brand name. It's a technology, ultrasonic, where they use the ultrasonic frequencies and put it in the water, and the water vibrates, and that releases the dirt and grime and all that. But it seems to be working really well.
So you like
I do
it?
a little bit of a trick things with it with a wetting agent and a little bit of thing. I do a little pre-cleaning. I think it's best if you do that. This thing doesn't work that well with getting off like surface, like fingerprints and things like that. You really do have to do, if you want best results, it's best to do like a pre-treatment and then clean it. And wow, not only does it take off the pops and the clicks and whatever, the surface noise like you'd expect it to, but it seems to make the music sound fuller and richer.
Really?
Great.
I guess that you don't have that grime or whatever up against the grooves, so
And
but
it does it have a vacuum?
no, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Basically has a blower, so you're
Oh.
you're blowing the stuff off instead of sucking it out, which I think if you're just going to grab that stuff and suck it out of the grooves, that's the best policy, but it takes $4,000 to get sucked out.
Is it
if you wanna
loud?
get blown out, it's only 400. You want to get blown, it's only 450. If you want to get sucked, it's like $4,000. So.
You got to pay out money for that.
But that totally makes sense. You want the stuff just sucked out of there and thrown out rather than blown around. But
Is it loud?
It is not.
Really?
It is not loud. It is irritating sometimes. But no, it's not like the ones I've heard where it's like you're almost like turning on a vacuum cleaner or something.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
that. It's almost like a modern dishwasher.
Oh.
Just not. It's a noise, but it's not like. But it's got that, kind of thing going on where it's kind
The
of irritating, but
ultrasonic
it's not loud.
sound, yeah.
Well, you shouldn't hear the actual ultrasonic because it's supposedly ultrasonic. So only the cats don't even hear it. I guess they're not phased. So, but yeah, it works great.
I've considered getting one, but
Yeah, for the price compared to the like I said, the $3,000 and $4,000 models, which I can't justify that.
no, not at all.
That was you're running a store.
Yeah.
Right, you're running a store and you're going to make your money back. I mean, I would just rather go out and buy a bunch of mint copies of my favorite albums and just be done with it rather than.
Right.
But it's fun. I like cleaning records. I like going into. I love the antique malls and the flea markets and things like that. I'd rather get records there than other places. Nothing against record store owners. Some of them are great people, but that's fun for me to find stuff out in the wild and whatever, and to be able to bring it sort of. Back to life.
Yeah.
Is great. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it for the money compared to it's like $430, and then you get the adapters with it for cleaning. You don't have to have those, and I think it's a little bit cheaper if you don't have a lot of 7 inches or 10-inch records to clean.
That's not bad. I thought it was more like 6 or 7.
Nope. And it's like confusing because ultrasonic. I originally thought that was a brand. That was a there was a machine called the Ultrasonic, and then there's all these knockoffs. But that's not the case. There's the Gritter, and then there's the, whatever, but they're all called Ultrasonics. There's even jewelry cleaning machines called Ultrasonic. It's all the technology. It's not a brand name, so I don't know if you can call it Ultrasonic if it's really not. There was some concern that this doesn't have a lot of power going to it like the big ones do, and so how does it create the ultrasonic? I guess it's not the waves or whatever aren't as strong as they are in the thousands of dollar models, but like I said, it works fine for me. And it's already made me want to get a new turntable. So, Music Hall.
Something soothing about cleaning records. I mean, it's just kind of a meditative experience, And
well, like I said too, and you get I want to do the pre thing, so you can still get the hands-on thing, but then you just put it in the cleaner you get the best of both worlds, because like I said, that doesn't work very well with like surface stuff like fingerprints and things like that, because those aren't really in the grooves, I guess. So
right,
you have to wipe that stuff off, and I wouldn't put like a dusty record in there or a dirty. I mean, why would you do that? Just wipe that off first.
Wipe it off first.
Put it in there. But yeah, there's my old. I will have a video on my channel with a demonstration for. I would do it here, but there's it's like a process, and it's like
right.
But basically, I could unplug this real quick and just. I think there's a record in it right now that just stopped cleaning. I started out by cleaning ones that I didn't really care about, like Pet Sounds. Asia from Steely Dan.
Your favorite
Van Morrison,
album.
Astral Weeks, all those classics. But now we're up to James Brown. So this was a pretty bad record, and that's bad as in not qual. And it's
shiny.
It's definitely shiny, and it definitely looks glossy. It's not just shiny; it's glossy, like a new record. But it's not going to get rid of scuffs. And hairlines and things like that. But basically, where's the camera? Right there. You drop this in here. And, it's got a little reservoir on the side. Let me take this out. It's got this thing on the side full of water here. And you just keep reusing the water. And this is where it gets a little messy. You have to pour this in here. And sometimes it gets a little splashy. It's not the best constructed little tank there. And then you just set the record in there. You can see the water is in there. You push this button a couple of times and it just spins around. And then you spin it around again to dry it. And that's it. The whole process takes probably 12 minutes. I mean, it goes around and around and around and around. It's got two different settings for time. You can either give it
like a round record goes round and round.
It looks like it, but it goes backwards unless you're looking at the machine from the back. That's the only annoying part. It's like, why wouldn't you make the record revolve clockwise and make it look like a record player? Yeah, but it just starts spinning by itself. But yeah, I'll have a complete demonstration coming up on Robert Fithen's channel.
When I picked up my disc washer...
Not Robert Frithen.
No,
Robert Fithen. Not Robert Fithen. Or Fisher. Or Robert Fripp. Or Robert Franklin. Or Fithen. Or Fithen.
Okay.
Or Fither.
The Firth of Fithen?
I like Fithen.
Right there. Robert Fithen.
When I picked up my spin clean, one of the directions, it said, go... one direction, but then for 3 rotations, but then you go the opposite direction, for 3, which is the direction it would spin. It'll be the opposite way that it would spin. But I guess it wants you to have the brushes go through the grooves in both directions.
Yeah, there's the old.
Yeah, that's what I use, and I've been
not a fan.
Not a fan of that.
I hate this damn thing. I'm going to throw this away. I cannot stand this. This gunked up my records. And I don't like the cleaner either. Well, the thing about
what were you pouring in the reservoir? Tap water?
No. But it said distilled water. But
right?
You buy like new records, right? And this is what.
No, I buy used records too.
Oh, okay. That's right. You got that used.
But I.
Yeah, I don't know. This is basically just, to me, it was like smearing the dirt around. It's like, well, we'll smear it evenly. Now it's all smeared evenly on your record, so you won't have those patches coming around. It's just all even now on there. That's what I got out of it, and it totally gunked up my stylus, and I am not a fan. Maybe I used the wrong amount of cleaner to water ratio or something and used too much or something, and it soaked it up or something. I don't know, but it was terrible. But people love it.
Yeah,
But this is actually ultrasonic and scientific, and now we're getting into sonic waves and, you know, things your hand
Science.
can't do, you know. You're
Robert's been
basically, your
blinded by
hands could do,
science.
your hands could do everything this does. This is basically just two brushes in here and you're moving a record over them. You could do that with your hands, you know, but that ultrasonic thing you can't. You wouldn't be able
Well,
to do
there are
it
other
with your
things I'd rather do with my hands than.
while you're cleaning a record.
Scandalous.
That's how you get burns. That chemicals like this right here. This is what I use, and I definitely won't be doing anything else with my hands if they've got any of that on there.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what I do to pre-clean. I did try to put some of
Ilford,
that
they
in the
make
machine, and I quit
photochemicals.
doing that. What's that?
Ilford makes photochemicals and photo.
That's what that
products.
is. Photo lens cleaner, and you use that
Oh.
with TurgiClean, and you make your own mixture, and that's how I clean records. But I don't want to put.
TurgiClean.
Some people
Oh,
put that through the
sounds dirty.
cleaner, the ultrasonic, but I don't want to do that. That'll soak things up, and so I pre-clean with that, and then just use the distilled water. Good times. Video coming soon. Probably not right away.
Interesting.
I'm uninspired.
Well,
All right, what else is going on? That's a great intro. We've got Culture Club. We've got Ultrasonic Cleaners coming up. We've got an episode of What Record Would You Pull? And we'll all review Curtis Mayfield's Superfly soundtrack. Why is Craig listening to The Cure nonstop on Instagram, like every album, like one after the other? Does anybody else notice that?
And Jesus, you've got a shitload of Cure albums.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
it's like we're on Instagram and there's this one guy that's just every post is the next Cure album in order. You start to wonder what's going on.
yeah, like is he mental? Is he sad? Is he smoking crack?
Yes, sad would be it's
yeah.
The Cure.
Very
I
sad.
It's
It's been a really long time since I've listened to them
Amy
like
Winehouse.
chronologically, and I don't know that I've ever like including the singles and live albums and all that stuff. I don't know that I've ever started from the first one and gone to the end. And I thought, well, might as well document it and also, kind of show off in a sense my Cure collection. I need so much more, but I feel like I have a pretty good collection, and I've worked really hard, and like it's taken me years to have I have all of the studio albums, but the singles, some bootlegs, some live albums, things like that. But I just thought it'd be fun to kind of document that, and I think I have like about 15 more left.
Oh my! Wow.
Yeah,
I thought you were done.
I have a lot. Yeah, no, I'm not done. I'm still, because I've got to get to that atrocity of the last album. So,
yeah. Aren't you on show now?
no, I am on Blood Flowers.
Oh,
So I finished that, and then I was kind of trying to focus on our
finish that and then
homework
try to
this
find the
week.
will to continue doing that, or
Right.
because you're on Blood Flowers.
Yeah, that's
I did that. I got new.
Love that
I
record.
started doing that like 2 years ago, but I did it with like 20 artists. I picked like 20. This was probably about like 3 years ago at this point. I picked like 20 artists, and I started at the beginning of their thing, and I worked my way through their discography like that. But I didn't do like one artist and then another. I did like 20 at the same time. So
At
I
the
would
same
hear
time.
one
Okay.
debut, then another, and then
Right.
and then we're back. Well, Cure wasn't one of those, but I did the Scorpions.
Uh,
But yeah, you don't have the electric Cure Boys Don't Cry, do you?
no, I just have the US. It's on PVC, I believe.
Yeah,
is the
PVC
label.
is the 81, and then in 88, I think Elektra released it. But the tracks are different, and the Elektra one
Yeah,
is the
they're
one that I had on CD, so I'm used to that track listing.
The electric
But I
track
didn't know.
listing is different.
Yeah, Boys Don't Cry is the first song, and it doesn't have World War, and it doesn't have something else, but it has songs that aren't on the PVC one.
Oh, because I know World War was not on the CD version, but
It's
so
the CD version,
vinyl. So the
basically.
vinyl version is like
Is the
okay.
Elektra CD
Yeah,
version?
I had to have that version because I had to have World War. Like,
I don't really even know that song. I want the other one because that's the one I'm familiar with. I don't even
yeah,
know the song.
World
before that.
War is like probably it's in my top 20 like favorite Cure songs ever.
What is
Yeah.
your
You might-
favorite Cure song of all time?
Great
Is it
song.
Friday
Oh.
in Love? And why?
It's not Friday I'm in Love. That would
Oh.
be probably like number 501.
Is
of
it
the-
High?
If it's a single, it's probably not my favorite. So, actually, it's kind of a tie for my two favorite Cure songs.
Screw.
That's a great song. Reminds me of my friend. But, no, actually, Harold, and they're both B-sides. So Harold and Joe off of the Never Enough single. And funnily enough, funnily, is that a word? Funnily? I don't
It
think
is
so.
now. That's
It
the
is
way it
today.
works in 2022.
You're
It is
welcome.
now.
You're welcome.
I heard it on the internet.
It's actually the B-side to Friday I'm in Love, and it's called Halo. And those are my two favorite Cure songs of all time. So not even off. If you want to talk an album track, it's probably going to be, Harold and
I
Joe.
don't have very many Cure, but I just happen to have that.
Wow. And
Sheer
you
coincidence.
do not, you don't have the picture sleeve. So
No, this is the promo. This is the radio promo with the.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And then like album wise, it's probably Funeral Party off of Faith and Sinking off of Head in the Door.
Wow, I don't know those.
Funeral
Right
Party.
away.
That's a great song.
Sinking?
Sinking, you know Head at the Door though. Head on the Door.
Yeah, but I don't remember that one.
Sinking it's the final track, I believe.
Oh, I never listened to that.
It's a bum 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 bum. Bum. Oh my God! Listen to that song. Like just like I guarantee you're gonna just be like,
I always liked "I'm Cold" as far as B-sides.
That's a really good one too. And Susie, I never like. Where is she in it? She's supposed to be doing backing vocals, but I
don't hear that at all. I said something about that in a video where it's like, there's no woman in this song.
No,
it's him with his voice echoed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Sinead O'Connor was supposed to be in that one song and he was not.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the Cult Hero stuff?
The what?
Cult Hero.
No.
So it was kind of a side project of Robert Smith. It was Lowell, no, not Lowell, Pearl, which is now Pearl, and his sister Janet, and then him and their mailman. And they did like a single. There's a song called I'm a Cult Hero, and then I Dig You. And the postman sings the lead vocals on it. He actually kind of sounds like Robert, but it's very interesting. There's not a lot to the lyrics. I'm a cult hero. You're a cult hero. I'm a cult hero. Hero. And I dig you. You dig me.
Crazy.
We dig
Did
each
they like
other.
meet him as the mailman, like coming up to the door?
I don't
like,
really
hey,
know how the mailman got involved.
I like the way you said sign here. Can you sing something? Wow, you've got a great voice.
You're beautiful, but
that's probably more like it. Wow, look at this hot
I
mailman.
just recently
how do I get with that? Let's see. Hey, do you want to be in a band? We'll just put out some bullshit album, but let's become friends with mailman. That's probably more.
Yeah, I mean everybody needs to be friends with the mailman.
Robert Smith, he identifies as a heterosexual, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, him and Mary are still married. So I mean, they've been like 80s is when they got married. So and
that was one of those things in high school, like if you were into the Cure, the Cure's gay, and so.
Oh yeah. No, you're a gay because you love the Cure, and the Cure is the gays. And
but then again, we are gay. So
we are the gays.
Before he started wearing.
I guess like the Cure, Depeche Mode.
Some cliches are cliches for a reason.
Before he adopted that goth look and the makeup, Robert Smith was damn cute. He was too cute to be straight.
Yeah,
he was just wow. Those early videos.
Yeah.
Isn't there what's the forest or whatever where he's just he's got the crew cut or whatever?
Okay. Well, it's a little longer there. The crew cut, like after like Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me came out, which he did have the crew cut like kind of like back in the like late 70s early, but it kind of got long there and everything. But he cut it all off in 87.
Yeah, he did that hot video.
Yeah, the hot video. He has the crew cut, and then in the in Orange, which was a concert film that went to like the theater and everything, that he has the crew cut in that, and I don't think he's cut his hair since 1987. So.
Or
policy. It's like
or washed it, or got the creatures out. Don't get me started on the squirrels and all that lives in his hair.
What in the world is a squirrel?
Squirrel dogs chase
squirrel
them.
from Kansas City.
Oh,
I'm not from Kansas City. I live in Kansas City, but no, that's not how you say it. Is squirrel?
no, we say squirrel.
No, it's squirrel. I squirrel
That sounds
from
like a queer
California.
squirrel. A squirrel.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's the gay. They're like, hey, I'm a
Right.
squirrel.
Oh, that's
What
not
up?
a queer. Queer is more annoying and like, I'll have you know, I am a queer squirrel.
I
That
am
would
a
be queer.
squirrel. Excuse
This
me.
is just like, gay or what. Queer would be all like,
And a circle and a snap out.
Squirrel
don't
is
call
so
me that.
sexy.
I'm a squirrel.
I'm a squirrel. Sorry, you don't want to hear
something
this.
Lenny and
But I
Squeaky
won't say
might
the
say.
other word.
The other word for gay squirrel?
No,
There's
it's
two?
no. It's nothing to do with squirrels. It's another word that I say that I get
Stop.
shit all the time.
Oh, wow. I used to get, for how I said woman. Did I say that weird? Woman.
No.
Okay.
Woo man, but
Woman. Woman.
yeah.
Woman.
Cellular is the other word.
Cellular. Cellular.
Cellular.
Cellular. Like
Like-
sell your house.
No, Popeye the Cellular Man.
Oh, I thought you were saying like cellular phone.
I thought you were talking about phones.
No.
Okay, that is weird.
I have said cellular my entire life. I've gotten shit my entire life for it. I cannot, so I have to stop. I have to go sailor, see?
A sailor. A sailor.
I thought this was a.
Oh, we're talking
I
about
thought this was a
sailing.
cubicle until I was in like high school.
A cubicle.
That was a cubicle? Oh, you work in
That's not
these.
mispronunciation.
You work in these
Yes.
cubicles.
My fingernail really is not that dirty. That must have been like a lighting thing.
I've tried to
See? My fingernail's not that long either. My fingernail beds are like way back in my finger, and it makes my nails look long, but they're really not. Anybody else have that
Yeah.
problem?
No,
I have the
my
fastest
problem-
growing nails ever. My
My
nails are
problem is not-
extremely fast growing. I hate it.
Just polish them like pink and purple and
No,
be
I don't.
fabulous.
I really don't like that. I don't know what it is, but when people have those like one fingernail, they do it on like Big Brother. So I guess it's like a young thing, but they'll have like one fingernail like painted black.
Longer than the rest too. But
Well,
I mean,
that's
the
a
long
cocaine thing,
fingernail
but I
is
get that.
really
But I mean,
bad.
no, like one is painted, and the other like one red fingernail, or one black. It's usually red and black. But that just
Maybe there's like a code, like hanky code.
right. It's like a thing I'm not into because I'm too
Yeah.
old.
The fingernail code.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there is, but comment below if
Yes.
there's sneaky, if
Yes,
there's
if there's-
fingernail polish.
What does
Oh,
green
yeah.
fingernail polish on your pinky mean?
Is it like a green hanky in your left pocket?
What does a green hanky mean?
Oh God, what is the green one?
I don't know what
Do you
the
know,
green-
there's like 400 different.
Yeah, now they're getting silly with it, and they're tying them
They're
together.
Crazy.
And,
Oh
doing
my
like
God.
three hanky braiding.
My
That is
last
so much easier in
I
Al
just know what a
Pacino's
few.
day.
I just know what the really bad ones are. I don't know what the like,
Yeah.
normal ones are.
is red fisting.
Red and
Oh,
yellow.
for God's sakes, yes.
Okay,
Just answer that and move on.
But
yes.
I have a funny story about that though. So at my
You
last
have a funny
job,
story about fisting. Okay, that's what I came here
No,
for.
this
What is it? We
is
in
not
28 minutes?
fisting
Okay. Yeah, everybody
the
stop
red
by now. We're good.
bandana. So I worked at a warehouse. So like I worked at a hotel. I got laid off, and then I worked in
not bring this
a
up.
warehouse for a year, and I drove a forklift and like all this crazy stuff, right? But there was this
Wait,
guy, and he was this big, burly
Can't
guy.
point at me.
And what are you doing?
I'm trying
And-
to point at you, and I can't do
okay,
it.
well, point at me because I drove a forklift. Yes, this guy drove a forklift.
There.
It's crazy. Here, I'll just point at me for
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome. Here I am, this guy.
That's who started this conversation. That's the point
I've
I wanted.
started it. Rainbows, whatever. Yeah, it's all this guy.
Yes.
There is a point to this, so please let me finish.
Yes.
Okay, so there's this big burly man. Like he is like 6'4". He's like 300 pounds, but he always has a red bandana in his back pocket. And I've told one of the guys, I'm like, and I was the only gay there, and they were scared when I first started there. They're like, oh God, this gay But then they let me go to the end. But well, they didn't think
This
I would be able to
gay.
do anything because I was a gay. You know, they're like, "Oh, is he going to be able to learn this stuff?" And I fit right in with them and was just as nasty as they were. But so I'm like, "Well, you know what his red bandana means?" And they're like, and I don't remember like what pocket is what, but whatever pocket he wore it in was that he enjoyed the fisting.
Oh, for God's
And I
sake.
made sure that every single person in that department knew. And the guy was not gay. Like he blew his nose in it, but
He
it
blew
happened to
his
be a red
nose in it.
hanky, happened to be in that pocket. And I'm like, oh, and they had so much fun. Just he
Isn't it
liked
that Bruce
it.
Springsteen has that, right? On a Born in the USA?
I think so.
Yeah. So, Merle Haggard likes fisting. What? Why are we looking at? Oh, red bandana. Oh, okay. I'm like,
Merle
watch out
Haggard
for
likes
the
red bandanas.
Mm. Whole nother topic.
There's also light blue ones. It's light blue's a lot. You know, light blue.
And yellow. We know what yellow is.
No, light blue. Don't need
I
yellow.
don't
We
enjoy
don't need,
yellow hankies.
yeah, we don't need yellow hankies
Well,
or red
no.
hankies.
Father,
Just light blue.
Forgive me for I have sinned and ordered records again.
Uh-oh.
After all
Wow, what are we
these-
talking about? What are those?
Yeah, what are records?
Good segue.
I have been infatuated
Is
with
that
this single by the Left Bank, "Walk Away, Renee."
Wonderful
song.
I love the song. I love the harmonizing. So I've been
It's one of my favorite
I've been
songs.
going through Discogs looking for the single, and I found a buyer with a good price and really good rating. And so of course I looked through the rest of their stuff, to bring the shipping, whatever, because it's a $4 single, and I'm going to pay $4 for shipping. Come on, let me see how many more records I can get. Okay, so I found a lot, and a couple that I've never heard of, like The Pink Noise and Psychotic Turnbuckles. But
Yeah,
hey,
I
they
get it.
sounded interesting. And then Papa Was a Rolling Stone by Was Not Was. I tried to find the original Temptations single of that, but they didn't have it in that store. But now, of course, I'm going to have to go search for the single for that. But that mix that they did of Papa Was a Rolling Stone, I listened to it. Just really, really good stuff. So I just cannot seem to stop buying records. I don't know what the deal is. I have to buy the cubicle because I have no more space.
Yeah, I did that too. It's
There's
like
a
you think that you're going to be
Records Anonymous or
okay.
something.
This is it. This is whatever. I leave myself a little bit of space in each one, and before you know it, you got a
Right.
whole nother two.
Mhm.
Did I just say a whole nother? Oh my God, that's
You
what I
did,
hate.
but that's
When
okay.
people put the word "whole" in the middle of the word "another" and make another two words.
Whole nother.
Anyway, yeah, a whole nother. Nother is not a word. People, knock it
As long
off.
as you weren't
Anyway,
saying whole nutter.
nutter butter. Yeah, but then you end up with a whole other, which is the proper way to say that. A whole other two cubicles, that you've got to fill. So
Hey.
I just got this album, and I've never.
What'd you get?
I got this. I found it for $1, and this is one of the ones I cleaned. I've never heard this before.
Oh, well, we know the picture.
Donald.
I have
Fagen,
the
Night
greatest
Fly.
hits on CD. I
Isn't this
own
like
any
your,
CD, Dan. Donald
Avatar or whatever it's called, or your
That's
Yeah.
Mike.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I've
Yeah.
literally
Only
never heard
reason
this
I know.
before. I know
I
that
don't even-
IGY was the single, but I don't even think I know that.
Yeah, that was.
So
the
this will
single.
be an interesting listen.
Yeah, I don't know anything other
The
than
movie
picture.
that he's doing,
Right.
that photo pose is a really great movie too.
Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. What is it?
No, it's
Why
a
not?
Good Night and Good Luck.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
Yeah. So the guy, what was it? The journalist, TV journalist before. It wasn't Jack Parr. That was the night show. Who am I thinking of before Walter Cronkite and all of them? He would have been late 50s, early 60s. But he took on Joseph McCarthy, Senator Joseph McCarthy, and went after him on the air night after night after night after night, and then reported on the whole collapse of the of the effort to root out all the homosexuals and the communists, out of Washington.
That would be Edward R.
Why can't I
Murrow.
think of his name?
Yeah, Edward Murrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Edward R. Murrow. Yeah. Great film, and that pose for that album cover is taken from that film.
So is that album sound more Asia or sound more like Countdown to Ecstasy?
Countdown.
I don't know. I've not listened to it.
Okay, great.
I love
That's the
that.
logic. Yeah, Countdown to Ecstasy is great. I like a lot of the Steely Dan. I don't like Asia, but I like all the other ones.
What year was that released?
81?
81, 82.
Is he from one of those from
He's
Asia?
He's half of Steely Dan.
Oh, Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, Asia's a different band. Sorry.
And Asia was a Steely Dan album.
Yes, that's
82.
where I got confused. But there is a band called Asia. Don't they sing
Right.
Amanda?
Yeah, different spelling. They
Asia,
spell it
Toto, they were all kind of in that era right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
all the
anything
one-name
really.
bands.
That debut Asia album was huge. God, there must have been
yes, I
five singles off of that thing, and it does not hold up.
Did that,
I was listening
launch
to it.
AOR?
Yeah,
It's
I
just,
listened to that thing a couple of months ago, and it really does not hold up. It's very dated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of synth, a lot of the old keyboards and whatever. I didn't know there was that many. Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell.
Wildest Dreams.
Wildest Dreams. Yeah.
Oh, I know
okay.
the Heat of the Moment song.
It was the
The
heat of the moment.
That played on the radio so much. I think
So
that
much.
probably is that turned me off even more than I hated Boston after my first year at college. I got so turned off of Boston because of this guy across the hall in the dorm. Played that fucking album over and over and over and over again. Jesus, I hated that album.
Which one? The first one or Don't Look Back?
The first one. And he would play it, and then he'd pick up that needle and put it at the beginning. He wouldn't even flip it over. He played the same side over and over. And he'd have his dorm room door open, his stereo cranked up to 11. Oh, God. I hated that band.
Yeah, didn't you want to go to the party school, though? That's what you got to deal with. Other people's music, OPM.
Right. But it was funny, because he'd be cranking it, and then he'd walk to his door, kind of look up and down the hallway to see if anybody was checking him out, and then he'd go back into his room,
Wow.
What a douche.
Probably had the blue Electra one. Or Epic one. Anyway. Speaking of albums, now it's time to find out what album we will pull with our classic game called What Album Would You Pull? Richard is the one that came up with the scenario this time. Maybe it'll be a wacky one. Maybe it'll be a serious one. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the scenario. So you're going shopping for audio equipment. And, maybe it's going to be new speakers, maybe a new stylus, or maybe a new amplifier, whatever. You go into, you want to bring some records to play in the shop so you can evaluate what you want to pick up and buy. So three records or CDs, and then what tracks in particular are you going to use to test this equipment to see if it's going to please you, that you're going to be happy after you spend all this money and you get it at home, and you're not going to go, oh, damn, this sucks.
Asia by Steely Dan.
Yeah, Steely Dan. The Richard Simmons workout album. Just kidding. I got my shit.
Okay, so Craig's going to go ahead and go. Craig, what album would you pull?
Oh my God, I'm going to go ahead and go. Well, I feel like I'm going to need a little different variety because I listen to everything, right?
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like a good one would be Throwing Muses Counting Backwards. There's a lot of soundscapes in there. There's a lot of, it's a fantastic song. You could even listen to their amazing cover of Amazing Grace, but we're focusing on Counting Backwards. You want to get a little feel. You want to get like, is my speakers going to hold this shit? So why not some Melody Gardot? And the certain track that we're going to pick is If I Tell You I Love You, I'm Lying, Melody Gardot. Then I got to get nasty, okay? I need my ghetto shit up in here. So you know this bitch is showing up. Lil Kim, bring it to me now. And the track we are going to play, and everybody is going to be like, oh, I got to hear this. And they're going to be dancing. And it is Queen Bitch Part 2.
It's a sonic masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. And people are up in me like a pap smear. Okay? She can also make a Sprite can disappear in her mouth.
Yeah, you want to do...
That's a different song.
Can you do that? I can do that. You just, when you get a crowded store, you definitely want to throw on Lil Kim.
Yes.
Yeah.
With kids, especially with kids.
Oh,
kids
yeah, grandma in her walker. Yeah.
But back to the soda can thing. Okay, so that's what you would pull. Who's next?
I'll go. I just got 3.
I can not disappear, but I can.
I'd probably do this. I know it's cliche, but I mean, great
Oh,
album. Alan Parsons
engineering.
iRobot. I'd probably go with the opening track. Yeah. Great record. Sonically all over. Crazy good. Next, I'd probably do this. Friday Night in San Francisco, Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia. It's all 3 acoustic guitars playing all over the place. It's really, really good. And last, I would do this. I love this record. In fact, I'm going to play it when we're done here. Is Peggy Lee, Black Coffee. Great record.
She's
gorgeous. Her voice is unbelievable. I highly recommend picking this up.
Why would you pick those to test audio equipment on, though?
What?
No, I'm saying why would you pick those to test audio equipment?
Oh, I don't know. I think the Alan Parsons speaks for itself. I mean,
right, yeah.
Sonically, it's a masterpiece. And then the 3 acoustic guitars all playing with each other, absolutely gorgeous.
They're all playing with each other.
Yes, they're all.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
I know. Gutter mind, get out. Go ahead.
Fisting soda cans. Playing with each other.
I'm done.
There's a story about one of the songs on here that the song Some Other Time. All right. So when you listen to that song, it is a great song, but there's 2 people singing the lead because the opening part is a guy, who starts singing, but then the bridge part or whatever, he couldn't hit. His voice wasn't strong enough to hit the higher notes. And Alan Parsons found this female singer and matched timbre of voices together. And so in that chorus part of Somewhere, Some Other Time, that's a woman singing. And then he just blended that in perfectly with the rest of the song.
I never noticed that. Huh. Very interesting.
And if you listen now, you'll be able to, it is a different one. Yeah. But it was done so beautifully that, you couldn't tell.
Okay, so if I was in buying new stereo equipment like a turntable or something, which I'm actually in the process of doing, I would probably want them to play something like Creedence Clearwater Revival. Something swampy, murky, muddy, because I want a stereo that is going to be able to make something like this sound dynamic and full and rich. I want to hear bass. I want to hear high-end cymbals and whatever. And that's not going to happen on anything but a quality system with these guys. Steely Dan, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms, that was the big CD that everybody had. That's going to sound great on anything. So that's what the salesperson's going to pull to play. I don't want to sound lazy, but Superfly, the very last song, Superfly. Because here's what you want to do if you're going to test out, and you want to look at the face of the salesperson when you ask them to do this. They put on a record, and they're going to pull some awesome sounding record to put on this turntable they want you to buy. Make them put on the last song of the side, because they're going to want to play the first song. Make them play the last song, which would be Superfly, because that's how you tell what a good system, or a good cartridge anyway, is the closer you get to the center of the album. All stereos sound good on song 1, not so much on song 5, though, because the grooves are tighter, the curve is tighter, and you really need like an elliptical or hyper-elliptical needle stylus to do that. If you just have the conical, which is the basic one, it's not going to handle the songs that are towards the center of the label as well as those other ones. So they will not do that. You will have to ask them, please play the one towards the end of the side. And Superfly has all of these things going on at the same time that are very similar but slightly different. Like there's two completely different horn riffs going on at the same time. And if you can distinguish those two completely, then you've got a good system. If it meshes them together, you don't. I would ask them to play Rod Stewart, Maggie May during the ukulele solo, and see if you can hear somebody unplugging something. If you can't, you probably don't have enough bass. And if you want to check the bass all the way, a low bass all the way to high treble in like 4 seconds, have them play the beginning of Sweet Fox on the Run. That's what I would choose.
Oh, great selections. That I never even really thought about, the whole inner groove distortion thing, to make sure that they play something, on the inside there, especially if you're testing a cartridge or a turntable.
Yep. Always have them play it on the, and I forgot one too, and then I would have them play a Styrene 45. Let's see how this sounds. Is it going to pull anything out of this, or is it just going to sound like a Styrene 45, which you were talking about Walk Away, Renee, and that's what I was going to say. A lot of those Smash, a lot of those are Styrene. There's only one or two pressings that aren't of that. I think that's Smash, right? Smash label or Mercury?
Enrico? No, BAM Caruso Records is the one I ordered.
Caruso, wow, that must be foreign or something. Yeah, but that's what I would do. I mean, that's just because those guys are going to pull like the best sounding albums. They're going to pull out the, and look how great this sounds.
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds great on any shitty turntable here. But yeah,
well, the records I would pull, or I would bring with me, because you're right. When I bought my speakers, that's exactly what the guy did. He pulled out Brothers in Arms and he put that on. So
that's why there it is.
Do
I know my audio salespeople, or do I know my audio salespeople? So, Steely Dan, Dire Straits. Those are the two.
Yeah. So what I would bring is this one, the Black Sabbath debut, because this was an album that was recorded live in one take. It's got very minimal overdubs in it. And what I would be listening for is the spaciousness of the drumming. There's a lot of like space in the drumming that's going on there, especially with the floor toms. In the opening track, the way the tolling of the bell fades in and fades out, and everything. So just about any track, and I would certainly go in for maybe NIB, because that is the last song on side one. For that whole inner groove thing to check out. I would also bring this. This is a compilation of Wagner songs. So it's got Ride of the Valkyries and Siegfried's Funeral. Those are the two songs that I would probably play, just because of, again, listening for that space between the soaring violins and then the more bass instruments in the background coming in, and then the opening to Siegfried's Funeral is just boom boom. You would remember it from the film Excalibur.
The ride I would remember, and I would be very surprised if the salesperson didn't say to you, "Can't you just smell the napalm?" Or something like that. Listen to the Ride of the Carries.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
They like to talk like that.
Craig made me think of this one, when he brought up his nasty one. This isn't necessarily a nasty one but you made me think of Isaac Hayes and Hot Buttered Soul.
Oh, yeah.
And, I would do By the Time I Get to Phoenix, and just make that salesperson sit there and listen to the whole damn song. So a little passive aggressive on me.
Why in the world?
But no, this would
teach you to mark this shit up 28%.
As in the Glenn Campbell song?
Yes.
Right. Oh,
I didn't
and
know
Isaac
that.
Hayes' version of the song tells all the story before the story is told in the song. It's just,
Ah.
but anyway, this is the noise one that I would bring, to
Yeah.
test. I want to hear noise, but I also want to hear it. I don't want to hear noise just all going together like it's in a blender. I want to hear each and everything, and I would probably make them play either Goo or Cool Thing. Although my favorite song on here is probably going to be Titanium Expose, which is the closer on side 2. Again, just because of that noise.
Hmm.
It's like a buzz saw. They make their guitars sound like a buzz saw. And it's like Leatherface is about to chop up some people. So anyway, that's how I would do it. All great selections. I mean, those were all very sonically, very exacting recordings that, you would want to test the limits on stereo equipment.
Listen for the plug out during the mandolin solo. If you don't hear, you don't have enough bass.
Well, there's that beer bottle
bass
that
isn't deep
falls
enough,
on the floor with Humble Pie's "Rockin' the Fillmore." Those little things that you want to.
That's exactly the same kind of thing, yeah. All right, so to wrap up the show, we have our final segment, and this is where we do the album review. This week it was my choice, and I chose Curtis Mayfield with the soundtrack to Superfly with the flap that opens. I guess the UK one does not do that. But yeah, this is on Curtum Records, which is basically his vanity label that was, Voodoo Records. I guess this has been re-released a few times. There's a nice gold disc version of this. That's a Target exclusive. But yeah, we're reviewing Superfly from Curtis Mayfield.
Black.
Well,
mine is red.
Did we already discuss that last episode? It's okay to do people of color now. Come on.
It is. It is.
Who's going first?
Me.
Please.
Do it, Richard.
All right. So this, I knew about Curtis Mayfield and Isaac Hayes because of their songwriting team when they were with Stax Records. I knew about this when it came out, but I didn't get it. And I mean that in two ways. I didn't obtain it, and I also didn't quite get it. But later, this is if you're gonna make a list of 100 albums that you must absolutely own, this is going to be one of those 100 records. Just a little child running wild, going into Pusher Man. It's everything is. It's got that 70s kind of quality to the recording. At least with my particular copy of it. And the other thing, I've never seen this film. At least I haven't seen this film consciously. Mm-hmm. So I think I've watched it before.
Yeah.
But I have no recollection.
I just saw it again yesterday.
But all the songs on here are, there's one or two that I do want to skip over, and that's mostly on side 2. Like maybe Think. I'm not sure if I'd have to go back and listen again if it's either that one or No Thing on Me. Those are a couple of songs.
Think is an instrumental.
Yeah,
that's kind of the one. I think it's all right, but it's compared with the other songs on the album. To me, it's not as strong. I'm gonna have to watch this. There's these photos on the back from the film, the snaps.
Yeah, they're great.
It's just really, really, really funny.
The fight scenes are awful.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But yes, when it comes to classic soul music and what was going on in 1972, I was 14 years old. It everybody was talking about the film, everybody was talking about the music, and I give it. I'm going to give it 4 rainbows.
Oh, I gotta write shit down.
It's
You're
one of the
talking
100
about-
albums you have to own, and you're still only going to give it 4 rainbows.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to hear a 5 rainbow. Oh, wait a minute. We did hear a 5 rainbow album. You gave me
Yeah,
one
from you.
well, I'm gonna, here. Let me explain my how I use the rainbows. 5 rainbows is an absolutely fantastic album from start to finish. I love this album. I'm going to play it over and over and over again.
Okay.
4 is a really good. It's a great album. There might be 1 or 2 tracks that are not quite as strong as the rest of them, but it's a really great, solid album. I'm going
So
to
5 is like flawless.
Yeah,
flawless
to me,
album.
5 is flawless from beginning to end.
All right, who's next?
I could go. I'll be real quick. I love this record. This is a masterpiece. I absolutely love this record. I hadn't listened to it for a while. I love it all the way through. Little Child Running Wild. What a jam. Just a great time. Pusher Man is awesome. I absolutely love Pusher Man. Freddy's Dead is great. The first side is a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. The second side does, I think it's No Thing on Me. Yeah, but the rest of it, I absolutely love. I just love it. The title track, the movie is great. I haven't watched the movie in years. Yeah, this is a masterpiece. I love this record, and I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 4.5 rainbows.
Craig is immediately tallying these.
Yeah,
Yeah, I write everything down. So okay.
yeah. What a great record. Just
Well, you gotta check
I
each
love
other.
it.
Good job. Yeah, I have a page where everything's actually in order. Night Moves is tied with Pale Green Ghost for number 1, just in case you were curious.
Yes. With close third by a half a point with the Beautiful South and Car Seat Headrest.
Yep.
So everybody's is in the top 4. The top 4 is each of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. That means Craig's next.
That means Craig's next. I feel like I want to say honky. I feel like I want to say what's up, sucka, you jive turkeys. I will admit, I sent a message to Mike and said, Mike, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get through this. I could not get through the first song.
He did. He did.
The first song.
And, not even the first song. So,
You know what's funny is when he sent me that. He sent me that message, and I was listening to it right now. I had the windows down. I was cranking it.
But I have a rule when we do this. I will listen to them all the way.
Yeah, I listened to Rilo Kiley like thrice.
So at the beginning, let me. Okay. At the beginning, this was going to get a half a rainbow.
Oh, for God's sakes.
But I'm just. I just 70s porn. I just felt a lot of porn vibe. I just wanted to be screaming about my jive turkeys. And but then I started to listen, and I was trying to listen to the lyrics, but it's been a week. I love Pusher Man. And I actually did drive in my car listening to it this week in like fucking ghetto areas, and I don't care. Go ahead and, get me, sucka. I really like Pusher Man. The instrumental ones I could throw in the garbage can. I really like the No Thing on Me cocaine song. And of course, Superfly, which is really that and Pusher Man were really the only songs that I knew. It was not the most horrible experience of my life listening to this record,
That would be Troye Sivan.
Yeah, well, Yeah, no, Troy.
But you haven't said why it's so horrible.
I don't know if it's just there's too many sounds for my mind to comprehend,
Oh
or
my God! Come on.
I honestly I don't know. I can't get past that whole 70s. Like, I just feel like everybody's fucking in the background. So like, and not, not like they haven't,
You need to
mansplaining
watch the
it.
movie
And
Yeah.
I know I do need
Fucking
to
in
see the
everything.
movie because I
Yeah.
The
have
song.
never seen it.
because
And had
you
I,
described the movie perfectly.
And well, the
okay,
cocaine too. The cocaine.
yeah. So had
And
I had
people
time
hitting
this
each
week,
other, 3 feet away from their face.
Yeah.
nice. Had I had time this week, I actually probably would have watched the film. Um, I don't even know. Can you watch it digital, like streaming or
Oh,
anything? I don't.
yes, you can.
I'm sure it's on
If you
something.
have brown sugar through Amazon, you can watch it for free.
Oh, I don't. I don't know what a brown sugar through
Brown
Amazon.
Sugar's a channel that shows these movies.
Oh,
and
well,
it's
I
an
don't-
Amazon add-on.
Oh, I don't.
But yeah, you can watch it for like $3 or whatever. I
Okay.
have
Yeah,
the
I'm sure.
DVD.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Yeah, of course you have the DVD, but and then I knew like how much, like I could tell how much Fithin loves it, and I didn't want to be like a asshole, but
Oh, come on.
okay, you're gonna
He is,
I'm gonna be
he has
kind.
been with ours.
He has been with ours, but then it's just like I wanted to enjoy
What's with
this
him
so
walking
much.
off stage all the time?
I know he's done with me. I wanted to enjoy this more than I did, and I wish I could. And maybe further down the road, I can try to give it a few more lessons. And I was listening to it right before we started too. And again, I really like that cocaine song and Superfly. It's just Superfly and jive turkey. I just love saying jive turkeys and you honkies. So, all right, you ready?
This album
Yeah.
never says jive turkey or honk.
No,
by the way.
but that makes me want to be like,
is the
in
Ohio
my
Players.
bell bottoms with my goldfish, like,
Yeah.
platform shoes, and be like, hey, sucker, you jive turkeys. What up, honky? It's what I want to do when I listen to it. So I'm sorry, 2.5 rainbows.
All right, it's my turn. I had to find my notes. That's why I kept walking away. I
Give
left
it
them in
to
the other room. Okay, so it starts. So basically, this is a movie soundtrack, and it's one of the rare ones that it tells the story of the movie, but it also, I think, the songs kind of stand alone by themselves.
Yeah, they
Usually,
do.
when you have a movie soundtrack that's that specific lyrically, it's kind of like the songs don't go. You have to hear them with the soundtrack; they don't stand alone. But I think these do, with the exception of a couple of them. It starts with a slowly revealed soundstage. I love that. It kind of sounds like it starts kind of within the song. It sounds like there might have been like a drum intro or something that they cut off because it just kind of starts. But yeah, then it builds on that. The keyboard, and then the congos, and then the drums, and then the horns, and then the vocal. It all kind of builds on each other. It's a great way to start that. Hustler's seen as a little child. I thought was a great way to start things off. This guy's, but he's calling him a little child running wild like it's a kid, but he's really a grown man hustler dealing drugs. Drug use in the first song, not about a party, not about this. It's about literally relieving physical pain, which I don't hear a lot in songs from the early 70s about drugs being used to relieve like hip pain, which is what this is in that song. Ends with a nice makes a political statement personal. There's a lot of politics in this, but it's not like it's done through a personal thing, like how it affects people personally. It's not just political music. Another character, Pusher Man. This basically goes through people's characters. You see everything from his perspective. In the end, it's not glamorous like the movie makes it. It's kind of different vibe with the album than the movie. The movie kind of makes cocaine look glamorous, makes a hero out of Superfly. He's the cool guy you want to be. In the soundtrack, he's more of like a sympathetic character who you kind of feel sorry for. So, and this is definitely anti-drug. The movie is kind of like not so much anti-drug, especially with that montage where everybody's just snorting cocaine for 3 minutes. Junkie Chase, I thought, Freddy's dead is next, and that's kind of like a spoiler alert. Freddy's dead. He's gonna die, but but the music, though, I mean, haven't even said anything about the music. The music is such a groove on the riffs, the whole production, his voice, the whole thing just works. And Junkie Chase is the one that I don't care much for. I think it definitely sounds like just a piece out of a movie score. It doesn't really sound like a song. That's the Woman Inside one. Give Me Your Love is the love song, you know? And it even says that, like, if you couldn't tell by the title, Give Me Your Love song. Do we need horn stabs in a love song? This thing lilts along, like, and then all of a sudden, like somebody's pulled out a gun or something, or a badge or whatever, like right in the middle of the sex act. It's very odd. Eddie, You Should Know Better. Again, kind of a specific to the soundtrack. He doesn't really fit the Eddie character. He's not really that dimensional. No Thing on Me is the anti-drug song about how great it is to not owe the man anything because he doesn't have anything on you. He's not going to arrest you. You're not on drugs. I think Think is a great instrumental. It's kind of mellow and whatever. And then, of course, it ends with the song Superfly, which is just a funky, just kind of a blast. I mean, it's one of the best songs of 1972. I like Freddy's Dead and Little Child Running Wild and Pusher Man too, but I think Superfly is a cut above those. I love the underscored horns, like I said in the album thing where we're talking about looking for stereo equipment. The soundscape of that with the underscored horns over here that you have to really listen like 4 or 5 times. You could pick different things out going on in that song. Like Craig said, there's a lot going on. I like that though. You can pick different things out every time you listen to it and kind of hear almost a different song. Superfly, the song, is definitely like that. I will give this 5 rainbows. Wow, shocker.
We're not shocked.
No, nobody's shocked by that. I'm shocked by 2.5. That's terrible. You need to rethink that. By the way, your album's next.
Yeah, I know. And
paybacks are a bitch.
This ought to be good.
I have been struggling. It's going to be like...
I've got 20 ready to go.
Do you really? I have mine picked out.
I keep going back, and so it's kind of an animal.
Wait a minute, what's the total there? We got 5, 4, 4.5, so that's 9, 13.5. Plus a half is 14, plus 2 is 16.
Yep.
So still first place.
Tied
what?
2 other albums, but yes. Okay. So 16, and let me just write Superfly. Okay, it's on the list. Which one am I going to go with?
The historian, Craig.
Right. I once had that in my job title, but that's a whole nother story. Okay.
A whole nother.
Yeah. I was a historian for one of my old jobs.
Squirrel.
Squirrel! Am I going to go with this one or am I going to go with this one? Am I going to go with this one?
I'll go with it. Whatever.
Yeah, go with it.
Just pick one and then do the other one the next time.
Well, I already have the next one picked. But okay, we are gonna go with... All right. Okay, all right. Okay. No?
Squirrel.
Right. All right. Yes?
Shirley and Squirrely.
There's lots of
Depeche Mode
over
album?
here. It is not Depeche Mode.
Oh, okay.
It is... Okay. All right, we'll go. All right. Big Mama Thornton. Sassy Mama.
Oh my God, I have been trying to find some Big Mama Thornton.
Her 1977. This is the 2022 redone. I don't like this cover. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
This is like some from 77 then?
Yeah, so this is a concert from 77.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's a live one.
It's a live recording. I love her so much. I really wanted to go with In Europe, which was her first official live recording. But when I wanted to check because I wasn't sure that obviously I don't think any of you own it. Maybe you do, but the digital has 15 different tracks that aren't on the vinyl version, and I wanted, when I do something, it has to be the vinyl version. So I went with this. This is 1977. Again, I don't like this. Sassy Mama, and It's a Ride. So, do you want to know what I was struggling the other one that I was struggling with? Because I probably won't pick it later.
Sure.
You want to know?
What did we miss?
Get it out your system, Millie Jackson.
Yeah, Big Mama Thornton.
Yeah, thank you for Big Mama.
But look,
Yeah, good pick.
Toilet seat on the back. But this is really good too.
I've never heard that.
Millie is just.
I have
do you
been
not
looking
know
for
Millie?
some Big Mama Thornton for a long time. Also, Sister
Hard to
Rosetta
find.
Tharpe.
She's
Yeah,
really hard to find.
I
Sister
thought I had
Rosetta
that. What's the
Tharpe
one where
is
she's
another
on the
one that I-
toilet? It's like I heard that one.
That one's called "It's the Shit" or something like that.
Back to the shit is what it's
Yeah,
called.
back to this is get it
I
out.
literally
your
put that on my
system.
video of
Yeah.
worst album covers of all time.
And then, but it's got a nice blue toilet seat on the back.
Well,
We
she's
are
on the toilet on the other one
on the other one, yeah,
with a little
She's-
flower pot next to her. It's like,
Yeah.
come on,
Oh yeah,
that
she's
poor
got some
flower.
really crude covers. I love her so much, but yeah, Mama's where it's at.
Yeah,
so
I would say.
we're gonna go on.
So
with
it's called
Mama.
Live 1977.
Actually, it's called Sassy Mama.
Mama.
Sassy
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 Mama.
Mama.
And it is live at the Rising Sun Celebrity Jazz Club.
Oh,
And I did check that this version is what all the digital versions match this.
Okay.
don't bring jazz records when you test out a new stereo either. They think you have a lot of money.
Oh, I don't. Is this? This isn't jazz.
I don't say we were talking before about the.
Yeah, I know, but I don't believe I own any jazz records to bring when I go. Mike
Ooh,
I might have
I'm
them.
gonna make you guys listen to a jazz album for my next one.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, we're gonna get jazzed all over.
More Craig.
Not in a good.
Craig.
Maynard
Oh.
Ferguson or Les Elgart?
He's gonna be all squealy.
Yes, clearly, and we're gonna go hang out with Popeye the Sailor Man while we hunt for squirrels.
And eat. What does my sister say? Salmon
Salmon.
and
I-
tortillas.
See, I say salmon too.
Tortillas.
It's
She says
tortillas.
tortillas.
No,
Tortillas,
it's tortillas, but I do say salmon.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. Unless anybody's
Yeah.
got anything else.
No, we got grammar lessons, and we're good.
Yeah. Ultrasonic cleaning video coming
Regional
soon to my channel.
pronunciation.
Right.
You know, at
fisting.
least I don't say Warsh. That's what everybody I knew in Michigan. When I grew up in Michigan, everybody said Warsh.
Everybody down here, it doesn't happen anymore, but everybody used to talk about the Illinois thing, and I never really heard that. People putting an S on it. You know, the S is not silent. I always used to hear Illinois, and that used to just drive me insane. There's no E in Illinois. It's Illinois. It's not Illinois.
Well, it's just like Washington.
Right.
My dad would say that. Oh, you're in Washington. No,
The
I'm
big
not
argument down here
Washington.
is Missouri or Missouri, and from what I can understand, they're both correct. So, like in radio, one of the first things I found out when I moved down to this area and was working in St. Louis was that politicians, like state politicians, they'll have two versions of their commercials when they're running, and the only difference is one says Missouri and the other says Missouri.
Oh,
A/B
wow.
testing.
I mean, it's literally the same
A/B
recording with
testing.
like 3 words replaced with Missouri in the middle.
It's just doing some
Exact
A/B
same
testing.
Yeah, well, Missouri goes to western, like Kansas City and smaller rural places, and then St. Louis and everything around there is Missouri. So, yeah. Maybe it's Kansas City's Missouri too, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Kansas.
No, I mean it's Missouri though. It's not Missouri.
Yeah, we say Missouri. I've never heard anybody.
Missouri
say
just must be the
Missouri.
middle part then.
Okay.
The middle is Missouri.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say Missouri.
Oh,
And the
Ozarks.
boot heel.
Missouri.
Yeah, the Ozarks is where they would say Missouri. Festus. Festus, Missouri, like George and Tammy.
Yep.
George Jones was
Winter
jealous
Bone.
of Porter Wagner's penis, apparently. I found that out on Cinemax. We'll talk about that next episode.
Can't wait.
For the country fans. They used to have a show called Tales from the Bus that would just all these roadies and whatever would get together and tell these stories about
that's
these country
great.
stars.
Yeah.
The one about Hank
Yeah.
or George Jones grabbing Porter Wagner's penis and wouldn't let go of it.
Yeah. That is a great series. Yeah.
I
Very
need
cool.
to talk-
What's it called? Tales from the Bus?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, something like
Cinemax
that.
is where it
It's
is.
really good. Yeah,
I'm
I
writing
highly
it.
recommend
Well,
it.
now.
And it's not just country. They have, the
Yeah,
James Brown
yeah.
is one of them, and so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us for this wonderful 10th episode of the Vinyl Community Guncles.
10. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we had the 3 from the live. We have to do
yeah,
another live
yeah.
stream sometime, so we can have like 20 episodes from that. Yes, I'm Robert Fithen, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Mike.
Mike from Hubtunes.
And I am Craig from my Vinyl Plethora, or Plethora.
Or Squirrel.
thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done that yet, and like the video, and it'll set off an algorithm that'll let everybody know just how wonderful our videos are and that they really should watch these, if nothing else, to get tips on what albums to bring when you're buying a stereo.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I think
grammar
we're very
lessons.
helpful. All right, thank you so much for watching again, and we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. We will talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.